Have you ever felt like you were always going against the flow, with voices and forces that took away more energy than they gave you? Right now, I want you to stop and think. Who are the people around you? You? Do they make you feel better or worse? Today, let's look into the old Stoic wisdom and see how picking the right people to spend time with and setting personal limits can completely change our path through life. But first, if you want to get ideas on how to live a better and more honest life, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Stay with us until the end of the video to learn useful tips that you can use right away to change not only how you talk to other people, but also how you see and place yourself in the world. Getting rid of bad people in your life. Have you ever thought about how much the people around us affect our lives? We always feel like we're in the middle of a lot of noise and stress, and everything we do is being closely watched. But there is a secret that can make all the difference. We pick who is close to us. Some people help us get where we're going and push us to be better, like a calm river. But some people are like a storm. They cause trouble and make things confusing, and we get lost along the way. A long time ago, some guys called the Stoics were very good at living a good life. They talked a lot about this. It was told that we should control ourselves and find peace, even if things were crazy outside. These things make us think. Do the friends we have lift us up or bring us down? It's not weak to stay away from someone who is only bad for you. It's strong. Being with people who are truly worth it is what it means. It's like taking care of a garden. We need to pull out the weeds every so often to make it look its best. This isn't easy, of course. We need to think about what's important and be honest with ourselves. But think about how light it must be to walk around with only people who support you, in a place where you can breathe easily and not worry about what other people think. Why don't you give this some thought? What kind of voices are you hearing? Are they going to help you or hurt you? Getting rid of bad friendships isn't just about taking care of yourself. It's also about finding your strength and learning how to live your life with more peace and purpose. When we choose who to be close to, they become important parts of our lives. Setting personal boundaries. So do we choose more carefully? This is the time to look around, think carefully, and make the necessary changes. Because ultimately, the quality of our lives is determined by the company we keep. So are you ready for this choice? Setting personal boundaries. Time is an increasingly valuable currency, and our energy is a finite resource. Setting boundaries proves to be not only a survival strategy, but also a cornerstone for a fulfilling and authentic life. But what does it really mean to set personal boundaries? And more importantly, how does it help us navigate the complexities of modern life? Think of boundaries like the boundaries of a map, delineating the territory that belongs to you. Your time, your energy, your feelings. These boundaries are the invisible lines that help us define how far we want to go, what we are willing to accept, and where we should say no. They are essentially a statement of self-respect and an acknowledgement of our own worth. Without these clear boundaries, we become vulnerable to burnout, an increasingly common condition in a society that often glamorizes the idea of being constantly busy. When we cannot distinguish between the demands of others and our own needs, we lose not only control over our lives, but also a crucial part of our identity. Setting boundaries is therefore a balancing act, a delicate dance between giving and receiving. It means understanding that we must do our best to truly care for others, and that is only possible if we take care of ourselves. It is the art of saying no when necessary, not out of selfishness, but because we realize that by maintaining our well-being, we are actually cultivating more fertile ground for all of our relationships. But how do we establish these boundaries? It starts with self-awareness, with understanding what you truly value, what drains your energy, and what nourishes it. It's a continuous process of actively listening to your own needs and learning to communicate them clearly and assertively. Imagine, for a moment, the feeling of freedom when setting these boundaries, of having the power to choose how, with whom, and in what you invest your time and energy. Envision the peace of mind that comes with the certainty of living a life aligned with your deepest values. Now I invite you to think, what boundaries do you need to set in your life to protect your time, your energy, and your mental health? Remember that setting boundaries is not a barrier to keep people away, but a bridge to more authentic and meaningful relationships. So how about we start drawing those lines today? Because ultimately, the quality of your life is measured not by the number of tasks you complete, but by the quality of the experiences you choose to have. Are you ready to take the reins and define the boundaries that will guide your journey? Not loving. Too much. You know when we talk about love, that feeling everyone wants to feel and experience? Well, love is a very beautiful thing, but there's a special way to live it that makes all the difference. The Stoics, a group of thinkers from antiquity, had some really cool ideas about this. They said that we can love a lot, yes, but in a way that leaves everyone free, without suffocating or holding anyone back. Thinking about love this way is like letting a bird fly. If we push him too hard, he won't be able to be himself. He won't be able to fly. But if we care for him tenderly and set him free, he is happy, and so are we. True love, which the Stoics spoke of, is the one that gives wings, that allows the person to be who they are without restrictions. Loving freely does not mean loving less. Quite the opposite. It means loving in a smarter way and choosing to be together because we want to, not because we have to. It means understanding that each of us is already complete on our own, but we choose to share this fullness with someone else, without dependencies. This kind of love accepts that things change and that not everything lasts forever. But instead of being sad about it, we learn to appreciate every moment, knowing that every moment we share is a gift. And even if things change one day, the love lived leaves a good mark, a small light that never goes out. Living love. This way. Imagine how wonderful it is to love like this, with an open heart but without losing who we are. The Stoics wanted us to learn to love much, but in a way that keeps us steadfast and at peace. So what if we tried to live love in this way? Choosing to be with someone, not to fill a void, but to add something, to make the other person's life even more beautiful. This is the invitation for today. To love in a way that liberates, that makes us feel good, that makes us feel more alive and happier. We tried it, expressing feelings and opinions with caution. In a world where every word has the power to build or destroy, unite or divide, the art of expressing feelings and opinions with caution proves to be a beacon of wisdom. Let's imagine for a moment that our words are like the water of a river. You exude strength and determination, but also the ability to adapt and overcome obstacles with grace and resilience. In this context, Stoic philosophy offers us a map, a compass, to navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of human communication. The Stoics, with their proverbial serenity, teach us that control over our thoughts and reactions is not only an act of self-discipline, but also a gift of freedom. Imagine being able to consciously choose the response you want to give in any situation instead of getting carried away by raw emotions and instinctive reactions. This is the promise of Stoic philosophy, the freedom to respond with wisdom and consideration. So why is it so important to moderate the way we express our feelings and opinions? We live in a time of instant connections, where every thought can be shared with the world in seconds. The speed at which we communicate should not outweigh the depth and quality of our interactions. By choosing our words carefully, we avoid misunderstandings, unnecessary conflicts, and, above all, preserve valuable relationships. Furthermore, by practicing inner calm and seeking to understand before we are understood, we become beacons of empathy and understanding in our communities. The ability to truly listen and accept the perspectives of others, even when they differ from our own, is an act of courage and generosity. true strength, and here, my friends, lies true strength. Let's take a common situation as an example. You strongly disagree with a friend's opinion on a particular matter. The Stoic approach does not prevent us from expressing our disagreement. On the contrary, invites us to do so with respect and to look for points of connection and mutual understanding. Instead of starting a battle of egos, let's turn the conversation into a bridge for growth and learning together. Finally, by adopting this philosophy of life, we discover that true communication goes far beyond the exchange of words. It is rooted in authenticity, vulnerability, and the courage to show ourselves as we really are, with our doubts, our hopes, and our dreams. And in doing so, we not only find our own voice, but also invite others to find theirs. May we therefore choose our words with the same care that a gardener gives to his plants. May we be patient, compassionate, and thoughtful. May our communication be a source of light and not shadow, and that on this path we discover not only the art of speaking, but also the sublime art of living. If you find value in this video, please feel free to comment. Thank you. For when we are thankful, all things work together for our good, our prosperity, and abundance. So leave a comment and a like so that this content can change even more lives. Compassion elective. Let's move on. Selective. Compassion. Compassion is like a beam of light that warms and illuminates, showing that we care for one another. But this light must also be directed carefully so as not to get lost in the immensity of the night sky of... The idea of selective compassion is like using a flashlight instead of turning on all the lights in the house. You concentrate where it is really necessary, where you can make a difference. Think of it this way. The world is full of problems and pain, more than any of us can solve on our own. It's like sitting in a small boat in the middle of a raging ocean, trying to save those adrift. If we try to save everyone at once, we risk sinking under the burden. Selective compassion teaches us to recognize where we can lend a hand without endangering ourselves, keeping the ship stable while helping others. This form of compassion tells us that it is okay to admit that we cannot be everywhere at the same time. It's not about turning your back on the world's difficulties, but about choosing our battles wisely. When a friend needs us, we can be there for them, because in this situation, our presence makes a real difference. But when it comes to larger problems that are beyond our reach, we do what we can, perhaps helping from a distance, without losing ourselves in an attempt to embrace the world. Taking care of ourselves. Maintaining this balance also means taking care of ourselves. We cannot give to others what we do not have. If we use up all our energy fixing everything and everyone, we will end up with nothing left to offer. It is as if we ourselves end up in darkness if we try to light the way for everyone. So if you come across a situation where someone needs help and there is something you can do, then keep going. Your heart and your actions can make a difference. But if it's something out of your control, do what you can without blaming yourself for not doing more. Sometimes the greatest help we can offer is to feel good about ourselves, so that when someone needs us, we can be ready and help them. Selective compassion is ultimately about being wise with our care and affection. It's about deciding where we can truly be a force for good and ensuring we stay strong and healthy enough to make a long-term difference. And remember, by taking good care of this light we offer, we will ensure that continues to shine brightly for those in need. Prioritize yourself and be direct. At the heart of Stoicism, we find a powerful call to authenticity and the value of taking care of ourselves. It's a simple but revolutionary idea. Putting yourself first is not an act of selfishness, but a fundamental step towards becoming the best version of yourself. And why? Because when we are healthy, strengthened, and balanced, we are much better able to approach others. Put yourself first. Let's simplify it. Imagine you are like a glass of water. If the glass is empty, how can you offer water to another person? First, you have to fill your own glass. This means taking care of yourself. It's about ensuring that you are mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared to face the challenges of daily life and to help those around you. It's not about always putting yourself above others, but rather about making sure you don't always put yourself last. Dealing with one another authentically and honestly is another pillar of this approach. Telling the truth and being who you really are can seem daunting. After all, what if others don't like it? But the truth is that honesty creates deeper, more meaningful connections. When you are true to yourself and others, you build relationships based on trust and mutual respect, and that is the foundation of every healthy relationship. So how do you put this into practice? Here's how to put this into practice. Start with small daily decisions, saying no when something doesn't really align with your values or when you just don't have the energy to give. Give yourself moments of peace without feeling guilty. And when you interact with others, choose honesty, even if it means having difficult conversations. By making these practices a habit, you will not only take better care of yourself, but also create an environment where others feel encouraged to do the same. It's a domino effect of positivity that benefits everyone. Remembering that you matter and that your health and well-being are essential to is not selfishness. It is wisdom. It is the foundation upon which you can build a rich and meaningful life, not only for yourself, but also for those around you. And that, my friends, is one of the most valuable lessons Stoicism can teach us. If you like this, you shouldn't miss the opportunity. Embrace adversity and find strength in challenges. Embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges is a powerful idea that invites us to see life in different ways. We know that life is not a walk in the park. There are plenty of storms and mountains to climb, but it is in confronting these obstacles that we find our greatest lessons and opportunities to grow. Think about it. Every challenge that arises is like a unique test of our inner strength and our ability to adapt. When a problem arises in front of us, we have two options: to withdraw and feel defeated, or to face the problem head-on and use it as a springboard for our personal development. Stoic philosophy, rich in ancient wisdom, encourages us to choose the latter option. Let's imagine for a moment that every difficulty is a question that life asks us. What can you learn from this? By accepting our problems with this attitude, we turn obstacles into opportunities. Every adversity becomes a learning moment, every challenge an opportunity to demonstrate our resilience. But how do we do this in practice? It starts with acceptance. Accepting that life will present challenges is the first step to overcoming those challenges. This does not mean that we like or desire these situations, but that we recognize that they are part of our journey. Embracing adversity. Then we look for the lessons. Every challenge can teach us something, be it about ourselves or the world around us. Furthermore, by accepting adversity, we can strengthen our emotional control. When we face challenges head-on, we learn to manage our emotions without letting fear or frustration take over. This emotional control is a powerful tool, not only for overcoming present difficulties, but also for preparing us for future unforeseen events. Ultimately, succeeding in the face of adversity is a testament to strength and determination. Every time we overcome a challenge, we develop a stronger version of ourselves and are better prepared for whatever comes our way. It is as if each problem solved adds a piece to the mosaic of our resilience, and it becomes more complete with each obstacle we overcome. In short, embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges is a powerful way to live life. Transform fear into courage, uncertainty into opportunity, and suffering into strength. It is an invitation to look within ourselves, recognize our resilience, and move forward with confidence, knowing that we are ultimately capable of facing whatever life throws at us. Living the present fully, present experience. Living the present fully is a transformative journey to the core of what is truly important in life. The Stoic philosophy, with its ancient wisdom, illuminates this path and teaches us to anchor our experiences in the present moment. After all, life happens now, where every breath is a new beginning and every moment is an opportunity to be fully lived. Often our minds get lost in the labyrinths of past memories or in anxious dreams about the future, distancing us from the richness of the present moment. However, by practicing the experience of the present, we learn to free ourselves from these captivat by focusing our attention and energy on actions and thoughts that are truly within our reach. Imagine for a moment the power of truly being where you are, of fully feeling every sensation, of being fully involved in any task, no matter how simple. This not only enriches our life experience, but also makes us more effective and focused, enabling us to embrace the joys and face the challenges with renewed presence of mind. But how can we cultivate this ability to live fully in the present? It begins with awareness, the simple act of noticing, when our thoughts lead us away from the now. Each time we notice this deviation, whether we are focusing on our breathing, our physical sensations, or the task at hand, we gently and non-judgmentally bring our attention back to the moment. This practice of returning to the present can be strengthened through meditation, mindfulness, or even activities that require complete concentration and devotion. And as this ability grows, so does our appreciation for life. Suddenly, small things begin to shine in a new light, moments of connection with others become richer, and even challenges seem less intimidating because we are equipped with the clarity and calm that only presence can provide. Living the present fully is ultimately an act of self-love and respect for life. By choosing to fully enjoy every moment, we not only improve our own existence, but also enrich the lives of those around us. Every moment becomes a celebration, an act of gratitude for the miracle of life here and now. So let us all strive to live wholeheartedly in the present, remembering that every moment is precious and irreplaceable. May we find joy in simplicity, strength in presence, and depth in everyday experience. And may this help us find the real happiness that comes from being fully present in the beautiful fabric of life. Practicing gratitude, nourishment of gratitude. Have you ever thought about why we feel calm inside when there is silence and the noise of daily life stops? Almost like a soft breeze, thankfulness sneaks into our lives at that present moment. It's neither a new idea nor a big change. It goes all the way back to the Stoics, whose lives were centered on virtue and self-awareness and taught us how powerful it is to be grateful for what we have. It's not enough to just say, thank you. It goes a long way. The little things, the people we meet, and the events that, no matter how hard they are, always have something to teach us, are what this book is about. For a moment, let's imagine that every hard situation is really a teacher in disguise who is teaching us important lessons that will help us grow. Why does this work so well? We see the world differently because of it. It changes obstacles into steps and issues into chances. Being thankful stops us from always wanting more, something new, or something out of the ordinary. Instead, it makes us happy with what is, with the present moment. But in a world that seems to be in chaos, how can we make this a part of our daily lives? Begin with something easy. Take a moment to pause in your daily life. Take a look. That morning coffee, a friend's smile, or the sun going down after a long day. Little gifts that are often forgotten. This change in viewpoint not only makes our lives better, but it also makes our relationships stronger. Being thankful makes connections between people. Giving thanks to others is a way of recognizing how important they are to our journey. This creates a positive cycle of respect and love. But what about the mental and emotional strength we look for all the time? Being thankful is a good starting point in this case. It teaches us how to bend and change. In the big picture, it shows that we are linked to each other, the world, and the universe. Being connected to each other makes us stronger. more human, and whole. So, I want to ask you to join me on this journey of discovery, where every day is a chance to practice gratitude, not as a chore, but as a present for yourself. When you wake up in the morning, think of something you're thankful for. It could be something small and easy, but be honest about it. Over time, you'll see how this action will change your life, giving you more light, peace, and a deep sense of being alive. Don't forget that thankfulness is a way to get somewhere, not a place it ends up. This path is being made every day, every moment, every breath. May your journey be full, rich, and most of all, thankful. Being self-sufficient and free, autarkia. That idea that we should take care of ourselves and not depend too much on other people to be happy? That's some of what the Stoics, who lived in ancient times, meant by self-sufficiency. Keep going, though. It's not about shutting yourself off from everyone or acting like you don't need anyone. It's more about finding happiness and peace inside yourself instead of always needing help or praise from other people. This phrase means you try to be fair, brave, and reasonable while making the most of what you have. These traits are like valuable things we hold inside ourselves that no one can take away. Things outside of us, like other people's opinions or hard times, don't affect us as much when we can live this way. How do we get there, though? There isn't a magic answer. Every day we try to be a little better, deal with problems head-on, and learn from our mistakes without having them define who we are. Along this road, you'll understand that other people don't really make you happy, but that doesn't mean you won't enjoy life or the people in it. You'll actually value those things even more, but in a better way because you won't be dependent on them as much. Being able to take care of yourself is a journey of freedom and learning. You have to learn to be happy with what you have right now and not always want more or wait for something else to happen in order to be happy. It's about getting stronger on the inside so you can handle the problems outside better. Remember this, real happiness comes from inside. It's about being true to yourself and finding happiness in the little things in life. May your trip be full of these moments of joy and discovery that show us that we are very strong in the end. Flexibility and the power to change. Adaptatio. Have you ever had a day when nothing went right? Just before that important meeting, the Wi-Fi goes down, the clock doesn't go off, and the coffee runs out. Yes, those things happen in life. In this case, a great idea from the Stoics, an old group of people who had some great thoughts on how to live their lives, comes in handy. They talked about how important it is to be able to change with the times and deal with the unexpected. Basically, they meant that we can't change the things that happen to us, but we can choose how to interact with them. Really, there are many things we can't change, right? What we do about those things, though, is up to us. Being able to bend and change is like being bamboo, which doesn't break when the wind blows. We don't sit there and complain that life isn't playing the tune we wanted it to when it does. Instead, we learn to dance to the music that not only helps us deal with tough times more calmly, but it also helps us see them as chances to learn and get better. Think of every problem as a workout that you get out of the blue. While it may be hard at first, you get better at it over time. That's not all. When we can easily change, we can see the bright side of things, even when it looks like everything is going wrong. Try to be more like the Stoics the next time something doesn't go as planned. Take a deep breath, figure out what you can do with what you have, and keep going. Remember that how you handle things is more important than what they actually do to you. The situation might not change right away, but it will make you feel a little better. Who knows, it might even help you think of an answer you hadn't thought of before. These days, being able to bend and change is a superpower. Let's put this idea into practice and become the kind of person who is ready for everything that life throws at them. If this look into Stoic knowledge has given you ideas, please subscribe to the channel and watch one of the videos on the screen to keep exploring yourself. Change your life right now.